Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Mugwump Tower, this is Albatross 1-3, requesting permission to land. Over.
I don't need a computer to tell me how to land a damn airplane.
6.
Heads-up display, check.
5,
Lasers, check.
4,
Particle beam, check.
3,
Photon bolts, check.
2,
Chair control, check.
1.
Let's do it.
Broadcasting from a secret underground location somewhere in Mos Eisley. This is the Docking Bay 77 podcast. Make yourself comfortable. The show is about to start. Ho, 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 and welcome to December. This is the Docking Bay 77 podcast, and I am your host, Dayton Johnson. We've got a bunch of jingle bells, we've got a bunch of mistletoe, and we got some holly all down the boughs. Something like that. Anyway, yes, we're getting in the mood. We will be counting down our top 7 original Christmas songs.
Out of all the reindeers, you know you're the mastermind.
Ooh, Merry Christmas, Christmas comes this time each year. Gets cold. There's a tale about Christmas that you've all been told, and a real famous. Oh, there's no place like home for the holiday, 'cause no matter how far away you roam, when you pine for the sunshine of a friendly game.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Got rhythm in his feet, but nothing in his hand. The boogie woogie Santa Claus. The boogie woogie Santa Claus. Boogie woogie Santa comes to town every Christmas day.
I've invited, well, here we go. The first guy that shakes his jingle bell in everyone's direction. It's my friend and artist, John Wright. How's it going, John?
It's going pretty good. Still feeling pretty Grinch-like, if I'm honest.
Okay, let's hope this helps. All right. And the guy that's too blind, stinking drunk by the 12th day of Christmas. Please welcome back Disney John. How's it going?
Far too accurate, sir. Far too accurate. You have no idea. It's going well, and I'm very excited to shake my jingle bells too.
That's how many times that joke comes back. Okay. So before we get into the episode, we have some feedback from our top 7 Golden Age of Cinema. So first, we have Jeff from the Film by Podcast. His list is as follows. The Killing, 7 Samurai, 12 Angry Men, Rear Window, Casablanca, Frankenstein, and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's a good list. Our friend of the show, Deaf Dave, David Wright, comes back with his list. He has The 10 Commandments, Citizen Kane, A Night at the Opera, The Music Man, Ivanhoe, The Mark of Zorro, and The Adventures of Robin Hood. And we have one more. Sean Niehoff, his list includes The Wolf Man, The Defiant Ones, Some Like It Hot, The Wizard of Oz, Night of the Hunter, It Happened One Night, and Sunset Boulevard. So thank you guys for reaching out on social media, letting us know your top 7 Golden Age of Cinema. If you want to reach out to us on any of our episodes, you can find us on Twitter at Docking Bay 77 Pod, on Facebook at Docking Bay 77 Podcast, and you can send an email, dockingbay77podcast@gmail.com. So there we go. Now, before we get into our list, John, how did you come up with your list?
How did I come up with my list? I knew that people would be pulling a lot of quote unquote traditional or more traditional Christmas songs.
Right.
So I went 180 degrees the opposite direction.
That sounds good. All right, Disney John, how'd you get your list?
I did the ones that were the most nostalgic to me, which
Oh.
does include some of the popularized ones, but there are a few that really have some that kind of hit home for me. So yeah.
All right. I tried to hit a lot of different genres. I tried really hard to have a variety, but I ended up actually having 3 artists that sound very similar. So, oops. I tried to pick some titles that I think kind of fly under the radar and maybe give people a chance to listen to them and hope they enjoy it. And also, my list is not built as far as like up to the best. I actually built mine as if it was making a playlist. So I start off kind of mellow, working towards an awesome finale. So
let's do this thing.
Here is the order. Disney John will go first, and then John, and then me. So, Disney John, your number 7, please, sir.
Okay, my number 7. The artist is amazing, Eartha Kitt.
Oh, nice.
Singing
Okay.
Santa Baby. Absolutely. It was performed by Eartha Kitt with Henry Renee and his orchestra, originally released in 1953, and the song was written by Joan Javits and Philip Springer, who also used the pseudonym Tony Springer. And the lyrical contents of Santa Baby proved controversial, resulting in temporary bans of the song in southern United States. Music critics gave mixed reviews to the single, and some calling it too suggestive for holiday-themed song. Springer was initially dissatisfied with Santa Baby and called it one of the weakest works. It has since been included on lists of both the best and worst Christmas songs ever written. I love Santa Baby. I don't care how suggestive it might be. Absolutely one of my favorite songs, and it was covered by Gwen Stefani later, and both are just very good songs.
Now, I've heard Madonna's version.
Mm-hmm.
That one's pretty good. I think the worst one is Bublé's version, because it's terrible.
I mean, and I like Michael Bublé. Like
I do
think
too.
He's a wonderful crooner. I just don't think he does it there.
No, it's a little weird. It's just a little weird. All right, John, your number 7, please, sir.
Okay, well, some of these have nostalgic meaning to me as well, but some of these are just for, well, let's be honest, some of these are for shits and giggles, because we need to have some shits and giggles around the holidays.
You are absolutely right.
So I'm going to start out with a very rare recording. It's actually the first professional recording of someone who would go on to become huge in the late 80s, early 90s in the hair metal scene. A young man named John Bon Jovi, featured in 1980's Star Wars: A Christmas in the Stars. R2D2, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yes!
Oh my God.
It almost made my list. I'm not even gonna lie.
I was torn between this and What Do You Give a Wookiee for Christmas?
Oh man.
This album is kind of nostalgic to me because my parents bought this for me for Christmas. And now that I'm older, I just learned how rare this actual album is. It's only been played like 3 times in my lifetime that I know of. There was only 150,000 copies of the original album made. The record label that was producing it went out of business the day of its release. John basically got the job because his older cousin Tony was running the recording studio where this was made. And it also features a little known producer group called Mecco, who were responsible for the Star Wars disco themes. If you guys remember that.
Yep, I do. I remember that very much so. All right.
It's just a fun song, again, ties into the geek culture with Star Wars and stuff. And, hey, let's have some fun.
All right. Well, I don't know where to go after that. So,
oh my gosh. The bar's high, sir.
I was going to say. All right. So, mine comes from 1953. It's from Louis Armstrong. Is that you, Santa Claus? It's such a fun song. It's a little scary, great groove throughout the whole thing. I kind of, when I listen to it, I actually can imagine sneaking around the house and, being a little scared, trying to figure out what I'm hearing. It's a fun song. And I really love the different versions I've heard of it over the years. Somebody else that's actually on my list later does a version of it, the Brian Setzer Orchestra. But one of my favorite versions is actually from Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem. They do a great version of it as well. But it's just such a fun song. I want to see it in a Christmas horror film because I think it's way too appropriate. So
Nice.
Anybody else want to make another Black Christmas or whatever, please drop that into the soundtrack because I think it would fit rather well. So
That'd be so great.
yes, it would be. Anyway, Disney John, you're number 6.
Okay. I promised this to you when you first asked me. It's my one and only pentatonic song. Because they only have 2 original songs, and I much prefer this one.
Okay.
It's called "That Is Christmas to Me." It's from their studio album, and it was on their 6th release overall, and their 2nd holiday album from 2012, PT Xmas, and it is ridiculously good. I just love it. Like, you have to understand, like, I really like harmonies a lot, and I think
Right.
you'll see that as some of these go along. And these kids just had it going on. And this is a pre-new bass that they have. This was with Avi back in the day, and it's just a good song, and it plays really well. It's really mellow. It has that nostalgic feel to it, to the whole sound of it, and what Christmas is to them. I can't say enough about it. It was let me see, it peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Top 200, and it was released in October 21st, 2014 through RCA Records. It was pretty good, and it was certified double platinum.
Nice.
So as much as you turn your nose up at them,
No.
double platinum.
Let me just respond to that attack.
There was no attack.
When I suggested this list, John wanted to make his whole list pentatonics, and I said he could not do that because most of their songs are not originals. So I
didn't realize you meant original
Yes,
songs. So that was
original
my
songs.
mistake.
Yes. So because I didn't want Jingle Bells on here 10 times.
Oh
So-
God, no, it's not on my list at all.
I know it's not on my list at all. Okay. So John, you're number 6, please, sir.
Again, keeping with the lighter heartedness, some of my stuff as we get into it'll be a little bit more mainstream, I guess. But we're going to go to a song that was recorded in 1996 and did not chart until 2010.
Really?
Yes, it's by a little guy you may have heard of named Weird Al Yankovic.
Yes.
It's called "The Night Santa Went Crazy."
Yes, you have made my day.
This is very much it's not an anti-Christmas song, but it's pretty damn close. I
right.
learned while doing some
That's it. I'm
research
going
on-
home. My list can't compare to John's. This is not even fair anymore. I'm done.
You said go original, so buddy, I went original.
Oh, you made my song.
I
You
learned
okay there,
while
Disney
doing-
John?
This makes my day. I'm the biggest Weird. I'm waiting for you to drop the top 7 big Weird Al. And I would have to.
I learned that he recorded this, and it's the B-side to another Christmas song called "Christmas at Ground Zero,"
Christmas
which
at
which
Ground
almost
Zero
made the list as well.
happens every year. Sorry.
And that there was also a quote-unquote extra gory version of this song released on the Amish Paradise single, which features Santa being gunned down by a SWAT team.
Yep.
The reindeers essentially becoming sausage, and the elves being forced to file for unemployment.
What?
All right. I need a minute here.
Oh, this one makes me so happy.
All right.
That's beautiful, sir. That is. I
I'm
mean,
sorry, I'm
I
not
applaud your
sorry.
choice.
You shouldn't be sorry. This is fantastic. Okay. Let me gather my my thoughts here. Okay.
I will say this made his last tour of the ridiculously ill-advised self-indulgent tour that he just did. It was all of his original works, and that was one of them. It was amazing.
Okay.
Besides going great so far.
My number 6. Well, I'm just gonna say "Wonderful Christmas Time" from Paul McCartney from 1979.
That's a good
Why?
one.
Because it's freaking Paul McCartney. That's why.
Right.
This is on my Christmas list every year. I went through a bunch of the 70s artists and had to, pare it down. And I mean, I love Elton John's Christmas song, and and of course there's a lot of good ones from that era, but this one, for whatever reason, I really like. It's got a nice flow to it. It was his first actual single. He was recording it right there at the tail end of the Wings experience, and it was one of his first singles after Wings. So it's a great song. It's a lot of fun, and it just kind of puts me in that Christmas mood. So it's because mostly it's Paul McCartney. So there you go. That's why that's on my list.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, never is. Never is. All right.
Because Weird Al, but
no,
not as good as some other Paul McCartney, but that's just my personal.
Well, that's fine, but I like that Christmas song. Thank you very much.
No, it is a good Christmas song. It really is. And I know what you mean, like the flow of the song and everything like that. That is, I don't turn it off when it comes on. And there are some Christmas songs that do that too.
There's a lot of Christmas songs that do that too.
I don't want a lot for Christmas.
All right, Disney John, you're number 5.
So my number 5, it means a lot to me because I am a retired sailor and I spent a Christmas away from home. And this was called "I'll Be Home for Christmas." It was the lyricist was Kim Gannon. It was composer Walter Kent, and it was originally recorded in 1943 by the original crooner Bing Crosby.
Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah,
Nice.
and it is and the song is sung from the point of view of a soldier stationed overseas during World War II. And you really can easily translate that to literally any war or anybody who's stationed overseas during that time frame. And it's really poignant at the end because it's like, "I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams." That's the line. And I can tell you that's the truth. I mean, if only in my dreams, I would be home for Christmas every year. So yeah, this one has a lot of meaning to me. And probably, again, building off of the harmonies and everything,
right?
No, not pentatonics. It was Rascal Flatts. If you've never heard that, if you've never heard their rendition, it is beautiful. It's all a cappella, and I think the group Rascal Flatts has a wonderful sound anyhow. And they nail it. They're sitting in a hotel lobby and they nail it.
I will have to check that one out. And just to let everybody know, listening, we will be dropping a playlist of all the songs that are available on Spotify to go along with our list. And I will also be posting a few days after this drops the entire list so people can find the songs if it's not on Spotify. So, John, your number 5, please, sir.
Number 5 comes from a movie released in 1993. What's This from Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh, all right. Very good.
Nice.
I love this. I just recently watched the movies. Nightmare Before Christmas is always the last movie I watch at the end of the Halloween movie season.
Right.
Because it's that odd movie that's not really a Halloween movie and not really a Christmas movie. But what stands out to me about this song is this is Jack discovering Christmas and trying to figure out what it's all about. Having worked retail my entire freaking adult life, I have seen Christmas destroyed from the inside out. And this reminds me a little bit about what Christmas is supposed to be like. It's a very sweet song. It's a very short song. It's not very long.
No.
He never mentions Christmas in the lyrics. He just describes everything that goes on in the stereotypical Christmas household. And it's just, I don't know, I know I said shits and giggles earlier, but this is one of the more sentimental, touching ones too.
This movie was a slow burn for me. I remember when it first came out, I wasn't all that impressed, but definitely it fits. You're right. It kind of works its way through Halloween into Christmas. It's very much, I mean, it's still Tim Burton, but Edward Scissorhands is the same way. Very, very Halloween feel, but obviously takes place at Christmas time. So, but yeah, it definitely works for I think it works for the whole 3 months, October all the way through December. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the songs for that are all the way through are pretty amazing. So
yeah,
and what a great character Jack is. So, well, I'm glad it was a little more mainstream because I couldn't handle another laughing fit like last time.
Give me time.
I figured as much. All right, so my number 5, I can actually thank my wife for getting this one into my ear. This is A New York Christmas from Rob Thomas. Now, just in case you don't know, Rob Thomas is best known for being the lead singer and one of the founding members of the band Matchbox 20. This this song is very cool because he lives in New York, so he has quite a few songs that he incorporates what he sees in New York. People on the street. He actually references the massive tree that they put up every Christmas. It's a good emotion throughout the entire song, especially the chorus. The lyrics tell of gathering around the giant Christmas tree right there downtown, in peace and compassion, understanding. This is one of his. I like Matchbox 20, but I find a lot of his solo stuff a little bit more personal than the stuff he does with Matchbox 20, and this song definitely falls into that category. I have never seen New York in Christmas except for in TVs and movies, but listening to this song, and it gives me the feels that I'm there, and it also has a very positive message, which he's very good about with a lot of his, positive songs. So this one definitely falls into that category. It's also one I think a lot of people aren't familiar with. So New York Christmas by Rob Thomas is my number 5.
I'm looking forward to your playlist more and more, sir.
All right. Glad to hear it. Because you were there for a while. I thought you were liking John's more. So damn it. No, I'm going to.
He's got Weird Al. He automatically wins, but I'm really interested in yours.
I know. I understand. That's how it goes. I get it. All right. Disney John, you're number 4, please.
Number 4. This is I will not lie. I like the modern version that I have chosen out more than the original version, but I really like the original version. I have gone back and listened to all of what they consider the original versions, the original artists for all of these. And mine was Please Come Home for Christmas.
All right.
And I really like that. And I will be honest with you, I learned a lot with this one. Please Come Home for Christmas is a Christmas song written in 1960 and released in the same year by American blues singer and pianist Charles Brown. I'm not going to lie. The version that I knew of this was the Eagles. And that's my choice for my most modern one.
Right.
I thought the Eagles wrote this.
Right. Okay.
I mean, because that's the only version I ever heard growing up was Please Come Home for Christmas. And it was great. It appeared in the Christmas singles chart for 9 seasons, hitting number 1 in 1972. So it took 11 years for it before it made the number 1 debut.
Right.
I really like the song. It's the Eagles, which I mean,
that's a win right
there. There's love right there already. So, and I don't know. I really like the musicality in this particular song. It's a Christmas song too, so it's really hard narrowing down my list. I'm not gonna lie.
It's going to be a challenge, right?
Good Lord. Yes.
All right, John, you're number 4.
Number 4, I'm going to piggyback off of what John said here, and I'm going to talk about a little bit about the song that is the second highest Christmas charting single, right behind the Eagles version of Please Come Home for Christmas. And that's Happy Christmas War Is Over by John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band.
Yeah,
Nice.
I almost put that on there, but I was like, no, the Paul McCartney one just edged it out. So
see, I go opposite, and I'm a huge McCartney guy. I like this better. I would love this infinitely more if the warbling background vocals by a certain Miss Yoko Ono were removed. But that is what it is. It's still a great song. It was written it's essentially a protest song against the Vietnam War. It was the B-side to Listen, the Snow is Falling, which I find it really interesting that a lot of the songs I picked are B-sides to what could possibly be other Christmas singles. It reached number 42 in the U.S. It did not have much success at the time of the initial release because it was released very close to the holidays. It only had like 6 weeks of airplay when it was initially released, and never really caught on until after the fact. But it's one that, it's been covered a ton. I've heard a ton of covers. And, none of them really compare to the original, in my opinion. The only difference, as I said, is that most of them remove the Yoko style vocals from the background. And but yeah, number 4, I'll go with John Lennon.
All right, good choice. Very good choice. Yeah, there's actually some decent covers of that as well. But yeah, there is something magical about hearing Lennon singing that for sure. My number 4, this is from 2018. It is Christmas Come On from Lindsey Stirling and Becky G. For people that may not know who Lindsey Sterling is, you need to check it out. She's an American violinist, songwriter, and dancer. She presents choreographed violin performances in live and music videos found on her official YouTube channel. She got popularity on, I think it was season 5 of America's Got Talent. She embraces her inner nerd and does lots of videos. Like she'll do, Star Wars, a song from Star Wars, and then dress up, as Star Wars characters. And she definitely embraces that part of her life. And she actually makes playing the violin cool, which people need to appreciate. She's a lot of fun. The song is it opens really soft and like makes you think it's going to be something that it's not. And then it kicks in. It's very catchy. It's fun. It's very sweet. And I don't know much else from Becky G, but she has a great voice, which is very complimentary to the violin. And it's just a fun song. It's very upbeat. And in fact, you need to check out, she actually has a Christmas album called Warmer in the Winter, and it's fabulous. There's lots of classic, pieces on there. She has a version of the Nutcracker that's spectacular. But yeah, she's just fantastic. She's a wonderful talent, and this song is great. And once you get into this song, check out the rest of her catalog because she is wonderful.
Follow her on TikTok. She is hysterical.
Yeah, I
on
follow
TikTok.
her on. She does post lots of videos and lots of stuff from her live shows. So yeah, she is very active on social media and and considering that's between America's Got Talent and social media, it's really how she got her name out there. So other people take a lesson because she's succeeding that way. So.
I have never heard of her. I'm officially an old person now.
Trust me, a lot of her stuff, it's on Spotify. She has a lot of good stuff on there. So yeah,
and her videos are interesting because she dances while she plays.
Yeah, she's quite good. She's quite good. So, and she's super cute anyway, so that helps too.
Yeah.
So okay, Disney John, you're number 3.
Okay, please. Number 3, and this is probably my most controversial song, and I apologize for that, but it is a song that I absolutely love. It's "Baby It's Cold Outside." It was a popular song written by Frank Loesser, I think it is, in 1944 and popularized in 1949 film Neptune's Daughter. And while the lyrics make no mention of a holiday, it's popularly regarded as a Christmas song owing to its wintertime theme. The song was released in 8 recordings in 1949, has been covered numerous times, as in like Idina Menzel and Michael Bublé's version, which are 2 kids like kind of ballroom dancing around the lobby of a hotel during Christmas. And they take out some of the adult references out of it and makes it much more of a non-controversial song. But I like Idina Menzel and I like Michael Bublé, so really good song. I just enjoy it, particularly the scene in Elf.
Okay,
so it's a good song. I enjoy it.
All right, very cool. Yeah, I guess you could call it controversial. I don't think it is, but
well, there's a whole culture out there that think that everything means something that it doesn't.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Agreed. All right, John, number 3.
Yes, number 3 is from 1984. Thank God It's Christmas by Queen.
Nice.
Oh yes.
Yeah, how can you have a top 7 list of almost any type of music and not have a Queen song on it? Written by Brian May and Roger Taylor, was never originally on a Queen album. It's a B-side to a single called A Winter's Tale. Reached number 21 in the UK. Never had a video until just a couple of years ago. And there's a beautiful animated video for this. I highly recommend it. It's just, it's not, again, like most of the stuff on my list, it's not your traditional Christmas stuff, but it's very cool. It's Queen. I mean, I don't know where to go with it other than that.
Yeah.
It's just like it's Paul McCartney. It's the same thing, There's not much else you need to say, really. So, all right. I don't think I'm familiar with that one. I will have to check that one out too. Very cool.
I wasn't familiar with it until about maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, all right. All right. Yeah, there's a lot. As I grew up, I didn't realize until like the last, say, 10, 15 years that Christmas albums were a thing for a lot of artists to do. I mean, I just never really occurred to me until I started working at Target, and then we had a whole display. every year of Christmas CDs, and it seems like pretty much everybody does a Christmas CD or something. So, and most of them are the same songs, just redone different ways, which is why I did the original. So anyway, okay, nice choice. I will definitely check that one out. So my next one is from who I consider to have one of the best voices in pop music. This is from Kelly Clarkson, and it's called Underneath the Tree.
Yes.
She, in case you don't know, I mean, must be living under a rock for the last 20 years. Kelly Clarkson was the first of the American Idol winners. She won the very first season and rightfully deserved. It's had a very long career in pop music. Sometimes throws some curveballs and does. There's a couple of her songs in recent years that I didn't even recognize her voice, but she is amazing. From the opening chorus of how this song opens to the last, where she really lets her voice stretch, it's about as perfect as you can get for both a pop song and a Christmas song. Pretty much once we get into November, this song lives rent free in my head for the entire 2 months. It's out of all of her Christmas songs, because she has a lot of other good ones too. This is the one that I always have to hear, and it's fabulous, and it's nice and upbeat. And yeah, I really like this song. It paints a picture of spending time with somebody you love on Christmas. And I think that's important for a lot of people. So Underneath the Tree from Kelly Clarkson is my number 3.
Nice.
All right. John, your number 2, please, sir.
All right. I will say my top 2 are pretty obvious. I don't know a Christmas when I don't listen to this song ever. Okay. In all of its versions. Although I did find out something new again. I really appreciate you do. I gotta stop the pause for a moment. I appreciate you making us go back to the originals. Because I haven't heard some of these songs in their original form, and it's very interesting to hear how it has changed over the years or not changed over the years, right? My number 2 is Blue Christmas. When I say Blue Christmas, who's the first person you have coming to your head?
Well, Elvis, of course.
Right? Yeah. Because that's my modern era version that I really like to listen to. But this was originally written by Billy Hayes and Jay Johnson. Doy Odell had first recorded it in 1948. And it literally sounds almost the same, except for the Elvis twist, right? Which I found kind of amazing. But I really like Blue Christmas. I mean, and I love the Elvis version. Like, if I hear that coming on, it gets cranked up, and I'm a Blue Christmas. I mean, it's just I really like the song.
I think I'll have to find the original, because I have a tough time with Elvis. I really do. I appreciate what he did for American music. I really, really do. But I can only take him in small doses. And when it comes to my Christmas songs, it's got to be people I really want to hear. And unfortunately, he's not one of them.
Literally only the Christmas song by him that I want to hear.
Oh, okay. Right.
Literally. Like that's it. I don't know why that song hits that spot for me, but it really does. Like the rest of them, I could care less about. Like, love his rock and roll stuff, but his Christmas stuff, whatever. I have I have other artists that can sing it better.
I got you. All right, John, your number 2, please, sir.
Number 2 comes from one of my favorite bands of all time. From a little album called Brain Drain by the Ramones. Merry Christmas. I don't want to fight. I love this song because if there's ever a realistic Christmas song, this is it. It's about a couple, it's about a couple that are essentially trying to get through the holidays without strangling each other.
Love it.
It's a fun song. It's, obviously that pop punk that the Ramones were known so well for, and in my opinion, no one's ever going to do it better than them. So quit trying. Some of you guys like Green Day. Anyway,
wow,
ouch.
There's nothing wrong with Green Day. Just quit trying to be the Ramones. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Fair.
But I love this. This is the last album that featured Dee Dee, one of the original members of the Ramones, and the first album that featured the return of Marky, who replaced another original, Tommy.
I've lost count of how many different Ramones there were.
Oh, so. Yeah. There's only one left now.
Well, I know that.
Marky is the only one left with us now, and I have mixed emotions about that, but that is what it is. But again, Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight. It's a fun song. It's lighthearted. I tend to keep my Christmas stuff lighthearted because I'm one of these people that struggle through the holidays. So the more lighthearted, the more fun I can have with this type of stuff, the better the holiday is going to be for me. And this one definitely does it for me.
Yeah, I know this one very well. That's a great choice. Great choice. First of all, I love the variety we're getting with this list. This is fabulous. I love it. All right. So my number 2 is the artist sounds very much like my number 1 and my number 7. So oops. But anyway, this is Hey Santa from the Brian Setzer Orchestra. Now, in case you don't know who Brian Setzer is, he's an American guitarist, singer, and songwriter who found widespread success in the early 80s with the 1950s style rockabilly group, the Stray Cats. One of my favorite songs from the 80s, Stray Cat Strut. Love that song. He returned to the music scene in the 1990s with his swing revival band, the Brian Setzer Orchestra. He also made a cameo appearance as Eddie Cochran in the film La Bamba, by the way, which I had forgotten about and must revisit. This song is great. The lyrics are fun. In case you haven't even heard any of it, check out all the Brian Setzer Orchestra Christmas records. They're fabulous. My favorite song is actually called Yabba Dabba Yuletide, where he took the Flintstones theme and turned it into a Christmas song. It's freaking phenomenal. This song rocks. It's very upbeat. It moves very well. It swings, and you can definitely sing along with the fun lyrics because we all know that Santa is a good old boy and Can I Catch a Ride to Atlanta and all this other fun stuff. It's just a fun song. For sure. Hey Santa, the Brian Setzer Orchestra from 2005. So that's my number 2.
Nice.
Very cool.
All right. So before we hit our number 1s, we are going to take a break and hear from our friends at Vintage Video.
On the Vintage Video podcast, we'll be reviewing every single wide release of the 1980s in chronological order. Over 250 episodes to enjoy and thousands more to come. John enters the store now to order another can of ether. I picture him outside like Homer with the gasohol.
One for you, one for me.
I also like to think about that the kids renew their vow not to talk about the murder
by murdering someone.
They're taking a blood oath with someone else's blood.
This stuff is 7 times more powerful than uranium. And they open up the vault that it's contained in, not wearing any kind of protective gear.
Yeah.
And it's wooden crates.
Wooden crates. It's like the guys in Chernobyl picking up the graphite rocks and going, nah, because there's rocks.
Hugging the elephant foot. Just like, oh, this thing's smooth.
It's so warm.
He turns to dial the number from the classified ad without even thinking about the numbers. We know this because we can hear his thoughts, and he's talking about how AJ was right that ninjas are misdirecting him.
They're misdirecting.
I really wish that he'd turn to the phone and been like, 665. No, that's 25. Vintage Video. We're rewatching the 80s, so you don't have to.
All right. Thank you for that. Moving on. All right. Here's the big ones. Are we ready? Disney John, your number 1, please, sir.
Okay, my number 1 is so flipping obvious, and I apologize for it, but I love this song, and I prefer the original more than anything.
All right.
It was the song's first public performance was by Bing Crosby on his NBC radio show, The Kraft Music Hall, on Christmas Day, 1941, a few weeks after the attack on Pearl Harbor. It's known as White Christmas.
Nice.
Absolutely one of my all-time favorite nostalgic songs. I remember hearing that the first time thinking like, wow, somebody can sing like that. Like, that's amazing. Now, I think the song that most people know today, if they don't like Bing, they know the Drifters version. Okay. And I really do like the Drifters version, but nothing beats to me the original, and Bing Crosby being the crooner. Just, he is amazing.
Okay, so some movie trivia, because that's me.
Please.
Name the first movie the song appeared in.
It just left my head. I know it, but I can't.
It's a trick question.
Give me a year.
I can't tell you the year. It's a trick question.
Okay.
All right. Well, you'd think it'd be White Christmas, right?
You would think, but I know that's not right.
No, it's in the movie Holiday Inn.
That's right.
It's the first
seriously?
Yes, it appears in that. If you haven't seen Holiday Inn, they open up they go upstate New York and they open up this old inn and turn it into a place you literally go to celebrate every holiday. And their Christmas section, this is the song they sang. So yes, White Christmas first appeared in the movie Holiday Inn, not in White Christmas.
Okay.
So yeah. Sorry, I movie nerd on you. I apologize.
You're okay. I love it when you nerd out like that, man. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. I do it all the time. I'm glad somebody likes it. Okay, John, you're number one.
Mine comes from 1987's A Very Special Christmas compilation album.
Yes.
Christmas in Hollis by the Kings of Rock, Run DMC.
That's right.
Oh, man.
The band, or should I say DMC, was initially against the idea of them performing a Christmas song, thinking that, number one, it's too commercial, harkening back to what you mentioned earlier about all the Christmas albums at Target.
Right.
And in that also that rapper Curtis Blow had a better song called Christmas Rappin' that he released in 1979. But after they gave the samples of Backdoor Santa to Jay and he kind of cut it and remixed it, the guys were like, yeah, I'm kind of down with this. You know, it's a fun song. You know, it's really neat. It's got a verse that just references food. And who doesn't love food at the holidays? I can remember seeing the video for this back in the days when MTV played video and had that one creepy little
elf
that could only say naughty or nice. Really strange, but yeah, this is the only original song on that album, and it is the only one. It charted in it. I'm surprised it only made it to 78 on the R&B Billboard charts. I would have actually thought that it got higher than that, and it took it to 2000 to chart to there. So it's weird. You'd think Christmas songs, some of them would chart higher than they do, but I guess because of the limited amount of time of play, they just don't do well. But I love this one. It's been remade. It's been one of my favorite remakes is by another band I really love, POD. They redid this one.
Oh, okay.
Calling it Christmas in Cali.
Right, there you go.
Taking it out of Hollis, New York, since they're based out of California.
Right.
But yeah, Christmas in Hollis. If it's not on your playlist, I think it should be.
All right. Two things. One, it's my Christmas ringtone every year. And two, name the Christmas action movie where this song appears.
Die Hard.
That's right.
Yeah, Die Hard at the very beginning.
That's right. And for good reason.
Argyle's listening to it in the limo.
Heck yeah, man. It was awesome.
That's a great name for Argyle. Love that name. Okay.
And we finally settled the debate that Die Hard is indeed a Christmas movie.
It absolutely is a Christmas movie.
Music.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you both.
I was never any question in my mind.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like, if you have to ask the question, you're just wrong. Okay. My number one. This one comes from a Phineas and Ferb Christmas special. One of the best shows Disney ever made. Ever. Phineas and Ferb is freaking fantastic. Okay. It is Christmas is Starting Now from a Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. If you do not know who they are a contemporary swing revival band from Southern California. They are featured heavily in the movie Swingers with Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn. Their notable singles include Go Daddy-O, Me, You and Me, and A Bottle Makes Three, and Mr. Pinstripe Suit. So they're a lot of fun. And the fact that they have the line, Shake Your Jingle Bell in My Direction in a family show is awesome. This song is well placed in the special. It is used when the Phineas and Ferb gang are delivering presents to their town, doing Santa's job because Santa thought that everybody in their town was naughty. It's a great song. It's a lot of fun, and it is always on my playlist. And it's a great way to end a playlist because after this, you're a little tired. It's kind of upbeat and exhausting and so much fun, but yet it's a perfect song. It's a great Christmas song and a lot of fun. So that is my number one.
Very cool.
Well done, sir. That's a good one.
Yeah. See, I ended up with, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, Brian Setzer Orchestra, and Louis Armstrong. I'm like, they all kind of sound a little, like.
Yeah, no, it's just a similar sound.
I know. I know. I was trying really hard to have, but I think John takes the cake for the most diverse.
Oh my gosh, Weird Al making this list. That's a genius, sir. I've been trying to make Weird Al fit in here, and I wasn't sure if he'd let me get away with that one. Or Christmas at Ground
my
Zero.
list. I mean,
It's
I'm
beautiful.
I'm not the Grinch, for God's sake. My God.
I don't know. Your music episodes are a little hoity-toity for me because I'm not a music I'm not an audiophile like you are. So I mean, to me, Weird Al is like the pinnacle of all parody and music in the universe.
Well, I'm assuming you've already watched Weird then, right?
No, my wife was on drill all weekend, or else I would have. I promise I'd watch it with her.
All right, you're a good
I
man.
love my wife. I've been married for 30 years, sir.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
I have a couple honorable mentions if we're allowed.
Oh, go right ahead.
Oh,
I won't go into great detail about these, but again, keeping with the lighter side of things, "Christmas with the Devil" by Spinal Tap.
Nice.
Which talks about celebrating Christmas with the devil.
Why not?
I mean, why not? Hey, he might like Christmas. Who knows? Another one came out in 2010 by another band that I really, really like called Demon Hunter. It's called The Wind. This is a very weird song to be on a Christmas list, but it was actually on an album called Happy Christmas Volume 5. It never references Christmas, but it talks from the point of view of someone kind of walking through the city or walking around the town and looking at Christmas and not really being able to experience the joy of Christmas and the loneliness that many people, go through at Christmas, because Christmas can be a very rough time for people.
Yep.
So that one kind of speaks to me too. And then my last honorable mention is from 1977, "The Father Christmas" by the Kinks.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one. That's a good one. That one I know very well.
That one almost made the list. I almost bumped something else off, but I could not talk about Weird Al and his passion for grinding up reindeer and
good.
And John Bon Jovi's professional recording debut. So
right.
Kinks got bumped.
My only honorable mentions are Pentatonix's first two albums. I do genuinely
entire albums.
Yes, their entire albums. So they make their own twists on their Christmas music. One of the ones I would suggest is "Angels We've Heard on High." I mean, like I stayed completely away from all the traditional stuff and all the hymns and stuff like that, but the way that they twist the songs and the way they make them their own are genuinely unique and really fun. I mean, one of the Christmas songs they turn into reggae. So, I mean,
nice.
Go take a listen. It's really, if you're just listening for a fun album, listen to some Christmas tunes because it's Christmas season, that you can't go wrong.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of follow that by suggesting Straight No Chaser.
Oh yeah, amen.
Very similar. They do. I love their version of 12 Days of Christmas, and
it's the best.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
No, they're a lot of fun, acapella, and yeah, they make they have some really interesting twists on classic Christmas songs as well. So yeah, if you like Pentatonix, check out Straight No Chaser. I think you would be happy with
100%. Couldn't agree more. They are great. Yeah. Fantastic.
I learned of them because of my wife. So
okay.
So yes, fabulous. All right. Well, guys, like I said before, I love the diversity in our choices. So Disney John, thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And John, thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. All that good stuff.
Sounds good. Come back next week. We are going to, with the anticipation of James Cameron's new Avatar sequel, we're going back and looking at one of his other water-based movies. No, not Titanic. We are going to talk about The Abyss. And joining me, we have Andrew Blakely and a special guest from the Vintage Video Podcast. We have Patrick O'Reilly joining us. So I'm really excited about that. Look out for one another and each other, your neighbors, your friends, your family. Like John said, Christmas can be difficult for many people. And so we need to take care of each other, look out for one another. We are all in this together. And whatever you celebrate this time of year, please celebrate and remember what is important. Do yourself a favor, listen to more music. And remember, physical media is better than streaming.
For the good Gentile girls and the good Gentile boys, when the boss busted in, nearly scared him half to death, had a rifle in his hands and cheap whiskey on his breath.
The Docking Bay 77 podcast is produced and edited by Dayton Johnson. Recorded with Rode Pod mics, the Zoom PodTrack P4, and edited on Audacity. Opening music provided by Eric Jason Brock. You can find him on YouTube and Bandcamp. Thank you for listening.